Okay, so let's talk about area model. Yesterday we talked about how we expand our numbers, right? Then we multiply and we find partial products. Then we take those partial products and we add them together. This is another type of area model that you might see. You are going to see probably at least one of these in your entire year of being in fourth grade. So here's how you're going to solve this. I want to show you how to solve this. Okay, it says determine the product for each base 10 area model below. An example is provided for you. Please stop. Okay, so it gave us an example. What it did is it went and looked at the base 10, and basically these would be considered partial products, all right? So we've got 100, we've got 40. You see this? 10, 20, 30, 40. You've got 80, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then it counted the units, and there's 32 units. You take all those numbers and you add them together. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Let me erase that real quick. All right. So let's go over here, and we're going to do the same thing. And we're trying to find the model that represents the equation 38 times 24. You see that down here? 38 times 24. Yes.
Where did 100 come from?
I'm going to show you. You need to think base 10. All right? Think base 10. How much is a flat worth? How much? Amy? 100. Okay, so if you look at this first one, how many flats do you see? How many do you see? 6. Okay, so each one is worth 100. So we're going to write 100 in each one. Okay, so I went and took my flats and I wrote 100 in each one. Now I'm going to focus on this part right here. Okay, I'm going to focus on this section right here. Let's count how many tens we see. And we're going to count by tens, okay? So I'm going to point to it. We're going to count. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 120. So we're going to write 120 right here. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to count this part right here. We're going to count by tens. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 plus another 80 is going to be how much?
160.
160. And then the last part is I'm going to go count the units. How many units do you see? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I go here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is 8 times 4? 32. Now, these are partial products. Okay, so what can I do with these numbers? What am I going to do with these numbers? What am I going to do, Gavin? I'm going to add them. Let's start with the hundreds. I've got how many hundreds?
6.
Okay, so I've got 600 plus 120. I'm going to add those. That's a 0 to 720. Then I'm going to go add my 160. So that's 0, 6, 7, 8, 880. And then I'm going to go add my 32. So this is 2. 8 plus 3 is 11. Carry your 1. 912. So this particular area model has a product of 912. Okay. So now let's go look at this one. Let's go look at this one. Okay, how many flats do you see? And how much is each flat worth? I see 4 of them, and each one is worth 100. So I'm going to go write 100 in there. Now, I've got these tens. How much is that? How many tens do you see, and what is that worth? How many 10s do you see, and what is that worth? How many do you see, Abby?
I see 6 tens, and that is worth 60.
There you go. So now let's go count. I've got 4 hundreds. So that's going to be a total of 400 plus 60. And that gets me 460. So this area model has a product of 460. Okay. Let's go look at the very last one right here. So each flat is worth how much? 100. So I'm going to write 100 in each one. Okay, look at those 10s. How many 10s do I have? And what is it worth? How many, Hayden?
We have 12.
6. So 60 and 60 make how much?
Whoa.
Umberto?
120.
120. What about these 10s right here? How many 10s do you see? How many 10s do you see, Easton? 6, and that makes how much? That's a value of 60. 6 10s is 60. Then we're going to take this and we're going to count the units. How many units do you see? How many units do you see? How many, Gavin? 18. All right, now we're going to take this and we're going to add it together. So I've got 400 plus 120. That's 520. I'm going to go add the 60 to that. 580, and then I'm going to go add my 18. 598. Now, I want to know which one represents the equation 38 times 24. So what should I do now? I've got all 4 of these that I have found the product of. But what do I need to do first before I can pick which one represents 38 times 24? What do I need to do? Gavin?
You can multiply the 38 times.
I need to find the product of 38 times 24, right? Okay, so I'm just going to go in this corner right here. And we're going to multiply 38 times 24. 38 times 24. Miss Anderson's going to do standard. If you prefer area model, you can always do area model. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply what? What is our first step? William?
You multiply 8 times 4.
4 times 8, which is 32. Put a 2 down, carry the 3. Now what am I going to multiply? Now what am I going to do? Hayden?
4 times 3.
4 times 3, which is
12.
12 plus 3.
15.
15. I'm going to mark that 3 out up top because we're done with it. What do I need to do before I multiply anything else? What do I need to do, Burgundy?
Add a 0 in the 1st place.
I need a 0 below the 2. It is a placeholder because now we're moving to the tens place. So what is 2 times 8? 2 times 8. David. 16. I'm going to put a 6 down, and I'm going to carry the 1 over to the tens place. Then I'm going to do 2 times 3, which is 6 plus 1, which is 7. Then we add those 2 together. We have 2. 5 plus 6 is 11. Carry that 1. 7, 8, 912. Which one represents the equation 38 times 24? Which one is 912? The very top one in the left-hand corner. So we're going to circle that one. That one shows you. All right, guys, good job.